Hi, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a collective reading, general collective reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Ascendant signs for the month of November 2019. Had a little bit of a blank there, not sure why. Maybe you could be feeling that mentally this month for November, that your brain isn't quite functioning the same way that you're used to. Not in a bad way. The reason for that, we'll get into that in a sec. We're going to channel spirit first. Then we're going to pick some cards. Prism of Visions deck is the tarot deck card I'm going to be using for validating and getting more insight. Then we're going to be using oracle cards to finalise and give outcomes. So the reason I mention about the brain situation is mainly because I feel like if you've had some little hints in the last couple of weeks that you maybe are shifting your life path, you've got maybe new gifts coming in and or new hobbies, new interests that you're just thinking, where's that come from? They're saying there's an alignment happening here and that there's a very good reason for these things coming in, because it's actually going to take you on this journey. And the journey, what the journey consists of is, apart from enlightenment, thanks Spirit, it's going to give you, it's like you're equipping yourself with these tools. So for example, if you suddenly couldn't sing before, maybe you can sing now. Maybe you were always interested in music but you put it down to do something else and then you picked it back up again. Maybe you're a thinker and that's your kind of your skill, one of your major skills. And like I said with the kind of brain thing, it's like, oh, that's the default isn't working, the default settings aren't kind of happening here. What is this? Not a need to panic, obviously, unless you feel like there is a medical issue, at which point do go and seek support from a GP, medical practitioner. Obviously I have to give that as an advisory, but what Spirit are giving me here is there's a gift on its way. Now this could be a very literal post with a rose coming through, you've got a bunch of flowers coming through the post and it's unexpected. But I feel for the majority of you, if it's not that, it's going to be a literal gift. It's like there's an ability. It's like they're showing me a key going in a door and unlocking, and someone's kind of like, oh, where'd that come from? There's also something around communication here and how you're expressing yourself, okay? They're also saying about living in your truth, okay, authentically. So that's a kind of key theme that they're bringing into this. I'm just listening to Spirit here in relation to this, one sec. They also want to say here, if you've had a real nightmare of a situation kind of the last couple of months, maybe up until sort of last year and a half possibly, they're giving me the song by Elton John, I'm Still Standing. Now Elton is an Aries sun as far as I'm aware. He's a very strong Aries, and yeah, it's like there's this kind of will, but it's like it's not in an aggressive way, it's like a creative process. It's like this frustration, it's like all of these kind of woes has happened. What can we do to kind of utilize the way that we've lived previously, and how can we communicate that to our world? And this is where this gift comes in. It's like you're accumulating all of your previous woes, worries, concerns, obstacles, challenges, and you are building that into an Aries superpower. That's how I kind of want to say it. They're laughing at me. It's like we're, again, to infinity and beyond. I'm hearing that Toy Story quote. I don't know why I said that word really weird, but Toy Story. Toy Story. I mean, yeah. So it's like people are equipping themselves here with their their moon boots, and they've just come back from their adventures and they're ready to ground it into the 3-dimension, right? So this is about abilities. There's someone with some absolutely amazing abilities here. Again, it's someone's got some real ability to work with. It's like I'm seeing you building things, but it's not just in a hand type of scenario where you're like building it and molding it. It's like anything you put to your hands to maybe could be really turning into something very positive here, to propel you forward. It's like I'm hearing ground control to Major Tom. You could also be getting some very strong insight from the guides at this point and upstairs. As far as I know, David Bowie wasn't an Aries. I think he was a Capricorn. But yeah, there's very strong kind of starseed energy coming through here. It just feels very strong. Okay, so I'm just putting some cards. We've got the Two of Cups here with the Eight of Swords. Okay, there could be a partnership that you are maybe going into. Okay, that you maybe weren't thinking about, but because of this new ability, that you will be generating a movement forward into that. It could be love. Maybe you're, again, Eight of Swords, you may be moving away from something to go to something new. Or someone could be also moving away from something to come to you. But they're saying a changing of the guards here. You could also be getting some new guides, all right? They're talking here about the commitment to the self, all right? We've also got the King of Swords, the Magician, and the Five of Swords, okay? So, again, it's interesting because this came up in the previous month. Was there a competitive element around someone? A community, friendship group, workspace, project, somewhere where you were like, will you just let me do this? Because there's decisions being made here based on the new ability. We've got the Magician. So the Magician is very heavily sort of emphasised within this. There's a very magical star-like quality to all of this kind of energy going on, all right? They're singing Rocket Man now. Rocket Man. Don't make me sing. I really want to sing. There's something about your communication. It's like a songbird. Someone's singing their own song. Now, again, because we pulled Two of Cups, it could be that you're reuniting with someone because they talk about the twin flame song. All right. There's decisions that are being made, pathways that are being moved towards, and it's like indecision's closed out. You know where you're going. You're armed and equipped. Yeah, we're moving away from the Hanged Man type of energy here. Okay, so we've got Eight of Cups, Hanged Man. We're moving away from that. We're going in towards, again, to infinity and beyond. Yeah, it's like potentially any distractions that we may have had, we're moving away from that. We're going more high vibe here. We're not so much in our shadow self. We could be more aligned with our star families here. I keep getting Elton John over and over and over in my head, so maybe you're a fan, I don't know. They're just showing me something here. They're showing me a gold medallion. And, you know, in fact, there's something about Henry VIII as well. One sec. I don't know if Henry VIII had didn't he have that gold medallion? Is it something about royalty here? Maybe you, I mean, obviously with music there are royalties, but it's like maybe you sought recognition for something. Maybe you've been trying to seek recognition for something and you didn't come up well with it, or it wasn't working out. There was just something that wasn't acknowledging your presence, okay? I feel like this is you blossoming into a star being. It's like your star being, your star self, your identity is abundant, okay? But you have to align with the right path. You absolutely have to align with the right path, okay? Otherwise, this is Six of Swords in reverse. So Six of Swords tells us that we're either going or coming somewhere. So this, to me, is kind of after the journey, really. I feel like this is once you've made those steps, but you have to align with your ability. So let's be realistic. If you've had crazy singing ability, art ability, you know, video design, fashion design that is of another realm of, it's like you're channeling that energy through, and it's a very pure, angelic kind of lighted realm energy, but you're sat there going, I don't know if anyone's going to really get this, or I don't know what I should do. Should I put it out there? You have put, whatever you do, run towards this with both hands, in my opinion. Now, obviously don't live by me, you pick and choose how you live your life. This is just what I'm giving you in terms of what they're giving me. Again, this is general reading, take what resonates. This won't possibly resonate for absolutely everyone that's watching this, because I would probably be non-human, and I probably wouldn't need to be here because I would have resolved every lesson in my life, because I'd be superhuman. But you could be superhuman, because Run towards those goals, open with both hands. Queen of Pentacles, this is, if you're not a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you're just very abundant. You're fruitful. The fruits of your labor have been realized, okay? You've gone towards, could be Aquarius energy here, you've gone towards your dreams, you stepped into that energy, and you are wet. Like, I feel like I'm buzzing off this energy. And can I just give you an FYI? I listened to I'm Still Standing and Your Song by Elton John, like, before this reading, and I was actually dancing. So no, I'm not going to film myself dancing, because really, what's that got to do with a psychic reading? Also cringe. So yeah, I'm just, you know, in my own little world, obviously buzzing off this energy. So guys, you are going to have a very productive month. That's what they want to say. Very productive, but you must get your head in line, okay? Are you having these mental blocks where you're like, oh, I walked in a room and I don't know what I was doing in this room. What was I doing? There's a reason for it. They're trying to align you to something else. What is it you're mentally not seeing in this situation? What are you not mentally seeing, okay? Now, again, we've also got the Lovers. Maybe you are in a love situation that you are yearning for this joining, or maybe this is for you to come into alignment with yourself and connect with your self-love, top up your own cup first before you welcome something in. There is a potential for that. But I feel like this could also be a potential for a new creative beginning for you guys, okay? This could also be passion, could be with a love interest, but could also be to do with your career, your pastimes. How do you spend your pastimes? How do you spend your free time? The Hanged Man is well and truly up in reverse. We are firing on all cylinders here. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to sit in this energy for as long as I possibly can after this reading, because this is some serious energy. This is like, I'm going to write a book, and oh look, I've written a book, and I'm going to record this amazing track that I've just channeled in my sleep, and oh look, I've just done it, and people are going to be like, are they for real? Like, is this a joke? No, it's not a joke. They're being very serious. You guys are firing on all cylinders, and I love this energy because it's productive, it's dynamic. You're not afraid to set the world on fire. That's how I want to say it. You're not, and that's not in a weird way. That's in a inspirational, here's my light, you know, as light workers, as light beings, as people that are spiritual, let's say, take what resonates. The gifts that we are given, we are meant to give to the world. That's just my opinion, because we're sharing the light then, aren't we? We're sharing that, okay? When we're giving this, we're sharing something that's precious, that's divine. Okay, and if we're not sharing in love with another human being at the moment, then we're sharing our gift. And if maybe we're doing both, you know, there's a potential for so much regeneration. That's all I want to keep saying, regeneration. And again, it's like Six of Wands, Six of Wands, Six of Wands. Oh, we're off, we're on our destination. We're going up, we're going to where we need to go. We're on a journey. We've packed everything. You could be moving, you could be going traveling. You could be going, I'm going to move to Ecuador. Don't know why I gave that country, could be relevant for someone, and I'm going to go and live there for 6 months because why not? Brilliant. Could I come? Four of Wands. Okay, if this is not divine union and this is not your counterpart that you're building security with, maybe they're coming to see you, or maybe you're coming home to yourself. Maybe you're on this absolute mission to find your home. Okay, home is yourself. Okay, but this could also be links to obviously starseeds. Obviously use the term if it resonates, if it doesn't then don't. This is all about coming home to ourselves and recognizing our true identity. It's like I'm seeing a mirror being held up to people and they're like, oh my goodness, is that me? And it's like you can't recognize yourself. You're coming out of this very transitional energy into this realization that, again, and I'm getting doubt, someone is actually doubting that what they did a couple of weeks ago or painted or wrote is going to have any impact, right? If you cannot get past that point, you definitely need to look into how you're viewing and perceiving your environment and you, because this could be how you're, again, we don't want to block ourselves because this energy is ripe for the taking. Okay, the only reason potentially that as an Aries that you're not going to be going along with this energy and utilizing it for the best of your higher will and your high self and your highest and best interest is because there could be a subconscious block. And if there's a subconscious block, are you in a self-sabotaging energy? Okay, because we need to look at that as well. My guide's just saying that's going to be relevant. Okay, now this is not going to probably apply to all of you, but some people are going to be watching this going, no, Are you in a self-sabotaging energy? Because I have to ask that, because I want you to get to a point where you're like, I actually smashed November out the park. Glad I did that. Grabbed life with both hands. Absolutely smashed it. King of Wands. The ultimate passion, yeah? Look at that fluid energy around him. It's like he's merging in with he's utilising that energy that he's got around him at the moment, and he's allowing it to merge with him. It's not restricting him. It's not blocking him. It's a supportive energy. It's an influence that is of benefit. Okay? Are you being defensive, or have you been defensive? It could be that your parents, family, friends are like, oh, you know, why are you doing that? None of your business. If that is your energy, none of your business. If you know in your heart that you've got a God-given gift or talent or ability, and you've got a million people going, great, that's your problem. Now, again, I apologise if I'm being really brutally blunt here. I have my Mars in Aries and I have Mercury in Aries, and I'm an Aries Taurus cusp sun, so I'm going to have to give you a heads up with that. And also I'm half Turkish, so my ancestors are brutal, and they're in this ear. I've got my guides in that ear. So, again, you know, us Turks can be fairly direct, and apologies if that's offending anyone, alright? Don't delay it. And again, I can hear, what about if I don't know what my God-given ability or talent is? You do. You actually do, but I feel like you're in a bit of denial. You're in a little bit of denial here. Take the bull by the horns, okay? Knight of Swords is very mental energy, alright? What I want you to do is sit in your heart center and just focus in on you. Draw your energy into your heart and just be like, my God-given talent is. Now, if you don't hear a little voice in your head saying X, Y, or Z, then meditate on that energy as well. But you're going to know what it is. And if you're saying, I already do meditate and I can't hear, are you sure you can't hear? Firstly, are you sure you can't hear? Because they know. They are very sure about this. So what you need to do is you need to align yourself with that information. And if you can't, if you're doing chakra work on yourself, because chakra balancing, cleansing, healing, balancing chakras is going to cause you to align with your higher self, whereby you are going to be able to understand. Even if you can't hear, see, there could be a knowing, all right? Don't forget as well to look out for signs. Are you getting synchronicitous signs everywhere? Like, for example, you're an Olympian swimmer and you're getting literally the Olympian symbols absolutely everywhere you go, and you're like, you could be next level athlete and you're getting those symbols everywhere, and you're like, what's going on? They're giving you a sign. This is meant for you. This is not meant to go, oh, I can't do this, and they're throwing it in my face. This is meant to go, because this is the thing, I feel like whatever this is, it's like, because I'm asking, why aren't you taking this leap of faith, or what would be the block in this energy? And it's like, I've just had a random brain movement, paradigm shift. It's like, yeah, just sit, because in fact they're giving me the answer, because I'm running off a million miles an hour. They're saying just take a step back and be in the now, because maybe you are so direct and like, you know how I was. Again, I'm a channel for information, so then pull it back and just sit in that energy and just align yourself so you're aware of your present moment, okay? And if you're not sure how to do that, look into the power of now, Eckhart Tolle. Present state, mindfulness, working with the present moment, because when you're in alignment in that way, you are more receptive to information, and by doing that you are going to be able to channel that information easier, okay? And that was also a lesson to me, because I was like, blah. Yeah, so looking at your future, okay, you're really analysing your future here. What is it I want? What's my goal in all this, okay? The universe is ready to give, but you have to be there to receive. Six of Pentacles. Now, this is the two cards that threw me totally into that, like, whoa, Jale, calm down. you are going to be given the information, you are going to be getting certain insight and guidance, but are you open to receiving it? Are you in an energy where they can reach you? If you're like going 100 miles an hour like I was, brilliant energy to get something done, very masculine energy. We need to then step back into our feminine and just receive, okay? Because then we can really get an idea of, firstly, it's about changing our vibration as and when, in order to match the scenario, what we need. But also, we can't always draw in what we want in masculine energy. Sometimes we have, because again, the feminine is very receptive. Feminine energy is very much about receiving. It's, kind of that emotion overhead, and that kind of, masculine energy is more around the sort of mental processes, and the feminine is around the energy, the heart center. And that's why I kind of had that paradigm shift, because they're trying to move me into that. All right, so that's, if you get those brain, because again, that's the third time that's happened in this video, if you get that, that could also be a little a heads up for you to shift into that that energy, to shift into the opposing energy. But again, if you're more receptive and you're more sort of going with the flow, and you're getting that shift maybe around your emotional center, that's your cue, I feel, to go into more masculine, direct driven energy. So it could be that you've established what you know you're going to do this month, and you're very receptive, and you're like, yeah, I'm in the flow, and then suddenly you have that kind of brain weird paradigm shift where everything goes blank, and you're like, right, I need to shift into my masculine now and go, because remember, we had the Hanged Man reverse and the Hanged Man upright. So it's knowing when to go and knowing when to pull back. If you are charging into a situation 50,000 miles an hour, you're going to miss everything. And you can't afford to do that, because you've come too far, My guides are like, we've got you. Let us do the work here, but you have to be open to hearing the information. There's a heck of a lot of cards that you're giving me there, Spirit. Yeah, look, King of Wands. Again, it's that fluid energy. Look at that flow and exchange of energy there. All right. It's like he's merging a little bit into the background with this. No wonder you're so clever. No wonder you picked this deck. It's like, not that you can see with this webcam, but, here we go. Can you see? He's actually taken on the form of his environment, where we've got this abundance of energy with the flowers. Okay. The energy is swirling around him, ready to take form, but he's merging a little bit with his external environment, but he's also utilizing that channel of energy to grow. It's like he's used his external environment as well as this divine energy in order to grow this abundance. Okay, so it's a formula. We're dealing with alchemical formulas here. All right, and again, very magician type energy. Very, very magician type energy. It's going to be interesting to see what you're going to manifest this month, because I feel like potentially, and again, if you don't know how to manifest, I would be looking into that, because I feel like you're going to be absolutely amazing in this month. There's something about this month. It could have been that we've just had the full moon in Aries, and now obviously we've had the new moon yesterday in Scorpio traveling on through today. All right, where again it's opposing your sun or moon or whatever. And so we're closing out a cycle, because not only that, but it was opposing Chiron, which is the wounded healer planet, and Chiron is actually in Aries. All right, now because obviously we're looking at Aries here, there's a lot that you're shedding, all right, but there's a lot that you've already done. But this is a time for manifestation, and it's like, having our, it's like a bounty. We're collecting our bounty here, within the right alchemical formula. And again, if you haven't released that, and you're sat there going, yeah, but I don't understand any of this. I'm not getting any information. I don't know what's going on. Have you released everything? Because I feel like that is going to really help. And again, Magician is Aries energy as well. Okay. It's a fire sign. So, it could also be linked to Mercury, the planet Mercury, which rules Virgo and Gemini. And again, that's very much about learning agility and communication. Okay. So what is it maybe you're looking to learn something this month, and that is going to really propel you forward. And maybe if it's a language, you'll probably end up picking this up a lot quicker, and it'll be, it's like you're a natural. There's something you're maybe picking up to learn. This is a very good month to do that. Yeah, let's sowing the seeds. What is it you want to set in motion now? Obviously with the new moon today, again, if you're watching this after the 28th of October, if you're watching this in November, and again, you can apply this to any new moon. Start asking for your wishes. Set your intention with new moons. We always ideally what you want to do is you want to sit and write out everything you want to release, okay? Before you do set, you set your intentions, you want to close out a cycle, okay? If it's something that you know is emotive, very, very hard emotionally for you, there's a different way of doing it, but write a list and burn it, because we burn to release, all right? Now, if you're sat there going, I don't like witchcraft, I'm not really a fan of it either, because I always feel like there's something a bit, I had prior past lives with all that, and I don't know, I'm still a little bit like, yeah, I need to make sure this is not going to affect anything karmically. The burning is it's a ritual. So again, if you're not comfortable doing with it, don't do anything you're not comfortable doing. Even if you are sat there writing out a list of things you want to close out and then tearing it up and putting it in the bin, then do that. But then after that, you set your intentions, like between the new moon and the full moon, what is it you want to draw into you, okay? With manifesting, sometimes it's good we write it down, because we're creating it almost. But if it doesn't come into fruition, don't sit there and go, well, this is absolute rubbish, this doesn't work, because you're probably missing something. Manifestation, it's about understanding the alchemical practice of that. If you want me to do a manifestation video, I can, let me know. All right? Yeah, it's about balancing. It's about getting the right formula. So that you look, and he's built that wall. He understands the boundaries between what is to come and what will be, or what's being released and what's new. Okay, but at the moment, it's like anyone that maybe isn't so sure about that, they're sat on that wall. Okay, and if this is you, go back more into your feminine energy. All right, if you're undecided around your mental, go into your feminine energy, because it's going to help you. All right, right. Maybe you've been trying to release a pattern of behaviour, and that's what's holding you back. Messages for Aries. We also do need to be focusing a little bit on healing. There could be a key theme going on with healing. Again, in order to draw the new in, we must close out the old. Okay. So we've got Temperance here. Okay. We've got Temperance and we've got the Eight of Cups. So this is about an emotional kind of walking away from something. And Temperance is about spiritual healing, all right? So again, what is it we need to heal? What is it we need to close out, okay? In order for the new to come in. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is very much sort of that manifesting energy. It's work. It's putting that focused vision into something, all right? But we must decide first, okay? Okay, great, maybe we're in this daydreaming mode, but maybe we're not. But in order to really get that focus, you cannot shoot a shot, especially with manifesting, and not be clear about what you want. Because if you, put it this way, if you are not manifesting it, it's not going to manifest. Because if you're not clear, how can they understand what you want if you don't? Then, you know what I mean? That's also a massively key thing as well, Again, indecision. What do I want? This guy's blindfolded. He doesn't know what he wants. All right? If you are in that mental situation where you cannot possibly figure it out, do something different. Go out into nature. Like that King of Wands, he's absorbing his environment. Go out into nature. Let that stress to kind of be released. All right? And you don't have to sit and go, right, now tell me what I should be doing. Just sit in it. Just sit, again, mindfulness. Maybe a bit of meditation will help as well. And I keep getting water, so maybe, by the sea, that's very cleansing. Saltwater baths. Two of Swords, we need to focus the effort here, focused energy, because if we do, once we know what it is, because you are going to be getting clues. I feel like they're going to be giving you neon signs as a sort of like, because I'll be honest with you, look, this actually happened to me. I was sat in a seminar the other day, and the woman was, make sure all your phones are off. Make sure all your phones are off. Make sure everything is, you're not going to be distracted. And of course I was distracted, because my spirit guides were like, and my ancestors like this, because obviously the veil is thinning around this time as we come up to Samhain, up to the 31st of October. And literally they were like, go and buy a musical instrument. The seminar had absolutely nothing to do with musical instruments at all. Literally nothing, right? But the seminar was on abundance. It was on sort of the extreme. It was about manifesting as well, actually, ironically. They were like, go and buy a musical instrument. because I'd neglected my music, and I learnt from age 5 some instruments, and they want me to switch this up a bit, and it's just as a hobby, just so I can kind of get into that my music again. But it was just the way they said it. It was like, go buy a musical instrument. Oh, anyway, I'm laughing at my own jokes now. This is a bit sad. Yeah, so it could be that you could be at school or a lecture, and if you get that niggling feeling, again, it's when you least expect it, because I'm I'm literally open to receiving because I'm listening, you know? So I was in that very receptive energy, and usually I'm not. And it was interesting and pay attention to these flags as well, because I remember the day before, they sent me randomly an email came through. It's always the emails, isn't it? This randomly, very kind of cosmically aligned email came through, and I'm looking at it going, what? I know how to do manifestation though. And then my guide was like, no, you should do it. And the energy was just so like, yeah, like they don't want me to know the real reason. And I could sense there was something a bit off about the whole thing. And I was like, my guides have got my back, I'll do it. You know, I'm going to just step into this, because I feel like they wouldn't tell me that otherwise. I built that trust and rapport up enough. And so I went, and they gave me this. I mean, it was helpful, but it was that channeling information that I was getting halfway through, and I felt so bad for the woman, because she was obviously trying to deliver some information. I'm sat there channeling. All my ancestors are like, go and get that. Go and buy a piano. It's like, how much do you think I'm buying a piano? But yeah, so I settled on I bought a keyboard in the end. So yeah, this is my little extra hobby for my creative ability. My just create something creative. Because I've again, it's creativity does open the heart center. Don't know why I'm giving you that story. Maybe it's relevant for someone. Maybe it's going to help someone. Maybe you've been neglecting a course because you didn't want to do it, but that'll help. I don't know, but there's a reason I gave you that story. If you are around certain things that you may need to move away from, be open to it. Okay, be receptive to it. It's not like they're trying to deliberately, again, this was my Sunday, so I wasn't sort of like... I wasn't about, I had other bits to do, but it was a last minute thing, so I went. And sometimes when you say yes, those are the best things, because I thought, no, I'll say yes to this, why not, And then yeah, I got a lot from it. So be receptive, don't, be open to certain things, okay? Because again, I'm a Taurus sun, an Aries Taurus, so I'm very stubborn and I don't listen. Even my guides sometimes struggle with me, and I've learned the hard way. They'll show me something, I don't listen, and they give me something else afterwards, and I'm just thinking, like the time when my phone got stolen, they were warning me the whole time and I ignored it. I was like, no, I know better. No, you don't. So yeah, so just be open to other, I don't want to say influences, because I feel like maybe you're getting friends or family that are moving you into a direction and you're not listening. All right, be open to it. I'm not saying listen to everything everyone's telling you, just discern from it. If someone is telling you to go and do something, go off to nature, reset, recalibrate, and be like, don't even focus on the question, just focus on the now, mindfulness, and then you should get some insight. It's just when your brain is relaxed and you're unburdened, you're in an alignment, okay? So yeah, and when you are, the Ace of Pentacles can come in, the door's opening. You've got a door opening for you there, girl, boy, whoever you are. Get in it, Definitely worthwhile. Because what they're saying as well is that, because we've got, without that, going through that door, we've got the King of Cups in reverse. So is there an emotional imbalance? Magician in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, and Page of Pentacles in reverse. So unless we move through that energy, are we going to get our blessings with the Page of Pentacles? Are we going to have our stability with the Four of Wands? Are we going to manifest these things with the Magician? And are we in alignment with our emotional self? And are we being true to that? I mean, look, this guy's in a body of water and he's literally absorbing everything around him in order to really capture that essence. If you're not in that energy, how can you ever expect anything to come? All right, and that's not to say because you don't deserve it. It's just because it's a lesson. This is all it is. It's a lesson. And again, lessons are not, and don't get me wrong, I was not the greatest person in school. I was naughty and I didn't listen because I was channeling from a young age, and I knew what the teachers were saying was, apart from my art teacher, was absolutely rubbish a lot of the time. But sometimes we need to listen. That's basically the message. The longest ever way of getting around that. And when we do listen, there is an emotional, total emotional fulfillment coming. It's because we've shown the universe that we're open to receiving. We're open to new ideas. All right. You don't need to go 50 million miles an hour to gain certain things. All right. I'm also getting here as well. You guys, there's something about also, if you relate to spiritualism, maybe you are intuitive, maybe you are opening up to high levels of intuition. Someone definitely has mediumship ability that's watching this, that is scared to use it. It feels very, because I feel like your ancestors are, and this is not meant to freak you out, they're trying to help you, but you are totally shut down. All right. Now, if you feel like this resonates, I would be looking into developing mediumship. Now, obviously, if you want to email me and we can look into developing that, we can. But you need to do it because this is the way they're giving it to me. This is next level ability. It's like you're probably walking into a room and reading everyone's thoughts, and you're sat there going, "Can anyone else do this?" No, usually no. You know, obviously, some people are telepathic, yes, but it's like your crown chakra is so open. But we need to get in the groundwork. We need to make sure that you're protected, you're grounded, that you know the A to Z of these kind of things, so that you can move forward with it, because there's a gift that you've got, you know. And I know a lot of people associate mediumship with, oh my goodness, no, it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to be that crazy. The other thing is, obviously, your karma, your past lives, if you have dealt with very kind of... let's say, for example, you want to develop mediumship ability or this ability, and your past lives have been very, very, very loaded with energy. And what I mean by that is there's been a lot going on in your past lives where maybe you've been a sorcerer or a magician or a high priest or a high priestess, or, you know, fill the gap there. And it's you maybe overstepped a line and boundaries, okay? I understand you. This is why you have to learn it, because when you're learning it, it's not as scary. When you have someone I feel like you might need support with that. And again, don't be afraid to reach out to people that are maybe going to be able to help you with it. Because it's not a bad thing to ask for help. This is not just because the spirit are not sat there going, well, that means you don't know anything. It just means that you are trying to learn. Again, the learning side of things. Yeah, look, some of you are high priestesses. Again, it's that very intuitive, very Aries are very intuitive. Every Aries I've met is usually on point, unless they're very kind of very much in the matrix, where they don't really have any sort of, you know, high vibrational influences, or they're not around any spiritual people. And that point, it can a little bit flip the other way. But you definitely have something that you're here to do. Again, if you don't relate to the sort of, you know, music, art, photography, you know, whichever, then it could be the more esoteric that you're being drawn into. And if that's the case, I'm just going to get advice for you here. If that's the case, what's the advice from Spirit? If that's the case, what's the advice from Spirit, please? Yeah, it's like someone is afraid of judgment, okay? Someone is afraid of judgment here. Trust me on this. My mum is atheist and my dad is like Muslim. He doesn't practice, but he's Muslim. Can you imagine me going up talking about archangels to my dad? And he even sat, until I did a healing on him, he was like, are you a con artist? Like, because he's Turkish, he's going to just tell it as it is. And then I gave him a healing and he was like, didn't say a word. Has been supportive ever since. Because he was really ill, and I was like, would you like, I didn't, you know, it was done. So anyway, it could be your parents aren't, you feel like your parents, your family are not going to support this, okay? My mum is still like, what kind of child is this? Like, what I don't understand. I'm really like, and she is like old school English as well. She's a matron in a school, my mum, right? That's just put, like, let that sink in for a moment. Can you imagine me? Totally random. They're I'm laughing as well. Good, just the way I like it. Let's mix it up. We don't want to keep things too boring down here, because the reason I'm here is I'm a catalyst as well. I'm a healer. So part of the reason. The judgment. Let's say you've got that judgment. Let's say you've got to. It's not an easy task. I'm not gonna lie, but have the faith that there's a reason for this. Because are you following your life, or are you following someone else's? Okay, because this is coming up really heavily. Once you move away from that, it's going to really help you with your future. All right. Don't think too negatively about it. Keep positive, because you are going to really receive a lot of information this month. All right. Maybe there's been pain associated with that. Okay, it's about healing that pain first, if that resonates. All right, guys. So let me just. Nope, they want me to pull from the wisdom. Let's get an oracle card. This has gone quite over, but I have to say what I've got to say. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of November, please. What is the outcome? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. I'm just getting as well here around my third eye. I feel like there's a bit of, I'm getting a bit of a headache here. So again, if you're overthinking it, stop. Because it's like, because I feel like your third eye is opening. But with this headache, it's like, could be a few things. Could be the sort of positioning of the moon. It's like Chiron as well being in your sign at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could be having these kind of, again, it's literal kind of energies that are being lifted off you so that you're being cleansed. But the headache is usually showing an imbalance, all right? So the outcomes, flexible. Be flexible, okay? She's on an egg. She's like literally on an egg, waiting to birth this egg in a maze, all right? She knows what she needs to do, but she's being flexible in order to achieve it. And you need to breathe through this, okay? Ground, breathe, take in the present moment. Observe what's going on around you. You won't miss anything that way, all right? You will gain what you need to gain. We've got 9 plus 2, which is 11. That's a twin flame card. That's also a very ascended master card. It's about awakening. It's about your divine potential, and it's also a sign from the universe, number 11. So if you're seeing a lot of 11s, okay, blue is communication, and this is an angel or fairy, so it could be that you're connecting to the Diva Kingdom there. All right, so maybe you're connecting to crystal divas or someone else, elves, fairies, pixies. I was going to say pixels then. So guys, hopefully this has been of some help. I was going to offer, I am going to start offering healings, but it's going to be based on, I'm not going to work, I mean, put it this way, I'm going to be doing it done via donation. So I'm not going to sit there and go, this is the price. I'm going to, you know, if we do a healing together, it will be based on a donation token payment that you feel is, you want to send, that is the amount that you can afford or you feel is the right amount, okay? That will be done, and what I will probably do is I will just be having a brief discussion about chakras, about what it is you want to heal. Okay, so the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to have to sit and work out while I'm looking into your energies and your chakras, what is it she wants to heal. I mean, so, yes, they do, obviously, it pops out straight away, but if you're coming to me going, I would like healing for my twin flame, if it's not in karmic alignment, then I'm probably going to say no, right? So just be aware, if you get an email back saying I can do it but not at this time, or sorry, that has karmic implications, then, you know, again, I'm not breaking boundaries just to suit someone. So because I have a universal law I have to adhere to. All right, so again, just you don't have to give you know the whole thing, because again, I like working with blank canvases. So if you just give a brief, if you are interested, give a brief explanation in email what you want to look at healing wise, and I will give you either a yes or a no or a time, you know. And again, don't take it personally, it's just the way my guides want me to work. It's just so that I'm reaching the right people at the right time, divinely led. It is, you know, this is not me having some ego trip going, no, I'm not gonna, nothing to do with that. It's about the right timing. It has to be within the right time, because it's not me to decide. It's you know, I'm only the middleman. I'm only here doing what I'm told, you know, because I'm trying to be good. So guys, hopefully that's helped. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. It's massively appreciated. Your likes and subscriptions are always appreciated to me. Videos are posted Monday to Friday. Okay, so tomorrow's probably will be a Taurus video tomorrow. All right, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs. So yeah, Hopefully this has helped. Have a lovely November. Take care. Bye bye.